Okay. So, thanks again, and we're all eager, actually, for you to join us. And I wanted to give a phone number where people could reach us. Actually, maybe Sandy, you could even hold it up. It's 617-259-1949. 617-259-1949.
Now, John, can I actually hear what you do?
What do you mean?
No, what do you do for a job?
I said what I do.
Did you?
Yeah.
Coordinates recruitment.
Recruitment and hiring of canvassers to go door to door.
She runs the whole operation.
So you put out mailings and
Right.
individual.
I run ads. I run ads. I talk to people.
She
who
manages
the
the
job.
management staff. She's the canvas director, so she
What would your
manages.
job description be for if you were looking for it?
Hey, that's some decisive action there. Thank you. That's what canvas director you would do, placing advertisements, doing publicity, coordinate, manage the canvas staff,
And canvas herself.
and canvas myself.
We all fundraise.
We all to manage, manage.
Manage.
She's the canvas director.
So you actually just in front. I just come in here, look, and then I go off and go.
What does the canvasser actually do?
Goes door to door and things.
No, we do not.
What does
What's a canvasser do?
Tries to make people aware, first of all, of what we're doing and why it's so important, why they need to become members of the Grassroots Network. That's important for government to give us.
Canvassing is knocking door to door. Right.
Yeah.
You walk through a neighborhood and knock on every door.
Yeah.
You don't have a list that tells you which doors to knock on.
Nope.
No, every door.
Every door.
Every door.
Yeah.
Every door. Every door.
You get them slammed in your face a lot?
Not a lot.
Yeah. I'll slam. I slam. Push.
Maybe quick.
Yeah. Not everybody's receptive to their door.
Do people get the organizations, the different rainbow organizations, much confused?
All the time. Yeah.
How do you attempt to disconfuse people?
Well, people usually ask, is this the Rainbow Coalition? And we say, no. We're an independent, nonpartisan citizens lobby based in Washington, D.C. And we proceed to tell them what we do, which folks have been very supportive of.
And it's also clearly true that we, in fact, are the only rainbow organization in the country canvassing door to door. So,
Oh, really? Do I have any more questions?
Do you?
I do, yeah. But I don't know who I want to ask them when you're canvassing, are you also looking for new people to canvass with you? So canvassers actually do that job too, and that's a steering job to boss lady.
If you find people, yeah.
although it's not a primary focus.
That is not a problem.
No, the primary focus of the canvas is to build the membership organization in neighborhoods throughout the country, and that is the primary job.
The primary job is to gain members.
Right.
Right.
Is to build a membership
Build a
organization.
network.
And that's what the far right builds. The far right has enormous clout because they have enormous membership organizations. Generates literally millions and millions and millions a day in this country. They far out fundraise us.
And member organizations, that's like Lions Club and the Rotary, those things.
You think more of it like there's the moral majority membership organizations, and then there's things like the Rainbow Lobby.
Moral majority membership is basically church congregations. Isn't it?
But it works very well. They have very tight membership organizations. We make a lot going through the churches, but it's given them enormous clout. They're very organized. They can call it their people at the drop of the hat. They'll drop a postcard, they'll come out on a picket, they'll call up a congressperson.
They'll vote.
They'll vote.
You'll vote.
They'll vote. The far right generates votes. They know how to organize voting.
So the voters are already there and they're just organizing the ones that are there. You're trying to get new voters and get your people that think.
No, we're trying to make our votes count. We're already there, but how can we register our voice in a process that's exclusionary and blocking us out? We're building a movement for democracy in this country.
Real news. Yesterday, the National Organization of Women put in a vote for a third party.
Exactly.
Is this also? Are you advocating a third party?
No.
Or you're not.
No, we're a nonpartisan lobby. For many years, we have said, though, that we can't depend on the two major parties to do anything about our issues, and that we need to open up the process to make it possible, for us to have candidates that would, for us to have clout, for us to force the candidates out there to be accountable to our issues. So I think it's great that now wants to do that, but our job is to, make it possible. Right now, the laws on the books make it virtually impossible for them to run
So
candidates.
this goes exactly to your comments earlier.
I mean, the fantasy that we grew up in America, that yes, you too can run for president. Think of it for a moment. Democrats and Republicans, like we talked about, have a particular access. If now wanted to start a political party, why is it organized in such a way that it would be 35 times more difficult to run if they wanted to run that way? That's not our conception of democracy. None of us grew up with that understanding, but that's in fact the law. That's the law of the land. But people don't support that position. And in fact, we're teaching people that, and people respond by saying, I don't support that. I support fair elections, and they join.
Yeah, it's a new way to understand democracy. That democracy is not just the good old boy network, and you have, democracy is not exercising your voice between, garbage can A and garbage can B. That's not democracy. Well, it's not. Democracy is when the majority of people in this country have a variety of candidates, a variety of choices. We have a national dialogue, we have a competition amongst candidates, and you vote for whomever you choose to vote for. We don't advocate the candidates or the political parties. But that democracy is the understanding that you can get represented in Washington. That's how we understand democracy, and that's not what's happening. And meanwhile, people are dying in the streets from homelessness. The environment is falling apart. There's some real serious issues at hand. So we can't keep going along. I mean, when abortion, civil rights, all these issues are getting flushed down the toilet, and it's business as usual in Washington, and we can't afford that. So we really have to bust through this kind of good old boy network, like I said, to have real representation in Washington. And that's what we're about. And that's what we take door to door every day. That's what we bring to individuals throughout this country. And people know things are fraudulent and corrupt. It shows in statistics. And
we're all part of it. We are the American.
Right.
We are America, and if America is corrupt, then we are.
Well, there's a difference between the people and the government in this country who have control of the process and the money in millions. And it's a different than between, everyday people, middle class, working class people in this country who are getting locked out of that process. So that's what our jobs are so critical.
In fact, the way the process works now is that it's predetermined before you even walk into the voting booth, even into the primaries, as to who is going to be on that ballot. That the process as it exists does not allow for our participation. So it actually is set up so that it does allow the far right and their organizations, and they're a minority, but the way it's set up, they are able to have far more impact than their numbers. They're very big fish in an increasingly small pond. Paul Weyrich, who's one of the leaders of the New Right, was quoted as saying after this last election, which had the lowest voter turnout since 1924, said, hey, I know people don't like, I'm going to paraphrase, obviously, I know people don't like to hear this, but the fact is that we really like it when people don't participate because that gives us more leverage. So that's the process that we're out to change. And to mobilize all of the people, all of the voters who are being locked out to do that, because it's going to take nothing less than that. And that's the majority.
Again, around what we're saying is that to assume that everything is our fault because we're the American people, doesn't it all address the realities of the restrictions around running for office, getting on the ballot, around registering to vote, around being able to participate, raising the money? that there are a host of restrictions that make it virtually impossible for people to have political clout.